Oh my gosh, guys, this video has been ghetto. This video is gonna sort of kind of be about like a 6 months postpartum update. So I actually spent a lot of time recording like this get ready with me as I was talking, but then my camera died and then like Jonathan came and interrupted me. But I'm really liking this look and I really wish that, you know what, I'm actually just gonna share the video how it is because this actually summarizes motherhood pretty well. It's kind of just winging it. All that said, I hope that you guys continue watching this video. If this is your first time here, my name is Ijeoma Kola. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, it's gonna be like a montage all related to motherhood as well as me getting ready and putting together this look. So I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to actually be wearing a wig. I had twists in, but I don't feel like taking them out. So I'm going to throw on a wig for this. This wig is from Human Hair Center here in Kenya. It's my second wig from them. It's so dark. It also is like, I think it's a bit too tight on me. I feel like the day that I got it made, I don't know what my hair was doing. My hair was super flat that day. But they make pretty good wigs. This is the kinky straight wig. I clearly need to style it, but I just wanted to get it on first. All right, there we go. Looking a lot more human. I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna start by priming my face. So things that they don't tell you about motherhood, they don't tell you a lot. I feel like, especially in the social media era that we live in, like people present motherhood as this like fun, exciting thing, like babies are so cute. And yes, they are, but they are a lot of responsibility and a lot of work. I really feel for people who like don't plan to have a baby because it's so much. It's so much work. So I think the number one thing that stresses me about motherhood is feeding. I decided to exclusively breastfeed, and I have like an interesting relationship with my boobs. In general, I'm pretty happy with my body, but I've always had really small boobs. Like I remember when I was in middle school, I like begged my mom to buy me a training bra because, you know, when I would play sports and we would change in the locker room, like everybody else had bras and I didn't have a bra because I had nothing going on. And my mom was like, you don't need any bra, but okay. So actually not how my mom's voice sounds, but the second thing is that when I had the baby, I had him on Christmas Eve. I wanted to be discharged on Christmas. Like I didn't want to stay in the hospital on Christmas. And the nurse in charge would not discharge me because she said that my boobs were dry and I didn't have any milk yet, which is totally normal. Like milk takes a couple days to come in. And so she was like, your breasts are dry, so you can't go. And that just from the jump made me really feel like I didn't have enough to satisfy my child, who, by the way, like when you have a newborn, they need like 3 drops of milk. Like they don't need much, but I don't know, just from jump, I felt like that there was this possibility that I wouldn't have enough to produce for my child. So that has kind of like stuck with me this whole time, you know, like, can I feed this kid? Do I have enough milk to feed him? And that is something that causes a lot of anxiety and stress, you know, especially when he's going through a growth spurt. It's like, is he hungry? Am I not producing enough milk? Or, you know, is he just growing and needs a little bit extra food? So I feel like that's one thing that people don't really talk about, is like this like mental work of thinking about feeding a child. The number one thing that nobody tells you when you have a baby is that your relationship with your partner will change. And I'm very lucky in that I have a very hands-on partner. Jonathan does every single bath. I think I've bathed this child like 5 times in the 6 months, in the 6 months that he's existed. But just the sheer amount of time that is spent feeding the baby, changing the baby, playing with the baby, entertaining the baby, like by the time that all of that's done, you know, you barely have any time to just entertain your partner, like just to to get real, to be intimate, you know? And for me, I don't know if this happens to everybody, but after I had our son, I had absolutely no libido. Like, I did not have any kind of sex drive. I was uninterested, even when I was healed, like even after like the 6 or 8 weeks that I was like still having like discharge or whatever. Like, I don't even know what's going on here. This is rough. I'm clearly out of practice with makeup, but I did not have any desire at all to have sex. And so I feel like we had to be really intentional about making sure that we didn't like lose our spark, even as we were focusing on taking care of the kid. I feel like the thing that people talk about a lot with childbirth is, okay, like this is how your body's gonna change, but I think that the changes that really happen are more so like there's emotional changes, there's hormonal changes again with your partner. And I wish people would talk more about that part and not necessarily about, you know, fine, like you're gonna gain weight and your stomach is like never gonna be flat again, because who cares? It just doesn't matter that much. But and I'm kind of starting to feel this now, is that in the age of social media, it's so incredibly easy to compare your child to someone else. And I find myself doing this sadly like so much, and I had kind of gotten over like the comparison game. You know, I think it's natural to compare yourself to people, but I had kind of gotten over like worrying about what other people were doing on Instagram, like how much their audience was growing, like how many likes their pictures were getting, and like blah blah blah. I had gotten over that, or at least I thought I did. So now for me it's like, wait, that baby's crawling and mine isn't crawling, or they're sitting up, or they have teeth and mine doesn't have teeth. And I think that that pressure of wanting to be a perfect mom, because you are seeing all these other people like show what their kids are doing, it's definitely a thing. And there's such a big range in childhood development that it's really like okay, and like honestly doesn't matter. But because we're on social media all the time and we're seeing people post all of these developments, it can just be really easy to feel like you're doing something wrong, or you're not a good mother because someone else's child is hitting some developmental goals. So I think that I wasn't really expecting to feel like pressure for my child to be hitting certain milestones, but I do, and that's just natural, that's just life. And you do your best to not worry about other people. The fact that I can like, I'm not even gonna conceal this side because that's how good my skin is doing right now. Yes. Yeah, this side needs a little bit. So I'm doing a very, very light makeup application because, one, I'm not going anywhere, but two, I feel like, you know, in the summertime, you definitely want to go lighter with your makeup, but also since we're wearing masks, when you do go outside, like you don't want to be wearing a full layer of foundation and then you take off your mask like to go eat or something, and then you just have like a line where your mask used to be. So it's definitely an opportunity to go a little bit lighter, and that also helps with skincare, which my skin has been doing very, very nicely lately. And I think part of the reason is because I'm not wearing makeup like I used to. One question I get a lot is like, how do I get work done with a baby? And the biggest help for me was putting him on a schedule like from a really young age. So around like 3 weeks, we started like our initial schedule, which was just making sure that he went to sleep like at a certain time. So we did bath time at a certain time, like every single day. And then as we got older, I think my brows are bothering me. As we got older, we started like adding a little bit more structure. So then we would put him down for his first nap around the same time. He would nap, wake up, eat, play, nap. So it was like a sleep, eat, play schedule, and that really worked for us. That kind of like helped give both him and us a clear idea of like what to expect every day. So that was really good. Because we work from home, like we kind of really just have him sitting or playing in the office like as we're also there. So he is independent in that he can play by himself. He doesn't really like want to be held or need to be held, and we started that like really young. Like he was sitting in a little chair by himself like when he was a baby. So that has really helped to give us like some free time to do one or two things because he is more or less independent. Like he can play by himself and doesn't really like need us. So that's something that I would recommend for anyone, is that try as much as possible to create a habit of independence like for your baby, because that way like they can play by themselves, they don't need to be held. And I think on my blog I kind of have shared the different things that we use to play with him. So like the different what do you call it, like the different activity gyms that he uses to keep him occupied. So I'm using the Jackie Eye Nut palette. This is supposed to be like a one eye look, or not one eye, one eyeshadow look, but I don't know what I'm doing, guys. And that's really the theme of life. You don't know what you're doing, but you just continue to wing it. You just start, okay? Just start and do it, mess it up, and learn from it. And that is exactly what I am doing with this makeup. Okay, one of the questions is what I wish I did beforehand. Ooh, before becoming a mom, what I wish I did beforehand. I wish I traveled more. I think one of the limits of doing a PhD, like as young as I did it, was that, you know, most people who work traditional jobs, I think that they have like built-in vacations, especially if you work in corporate. Like you have a built-in vacation, you have like time off. And I think in graduate school that isn't really a thing. So and you know, I did travel a little bit, but I think that had I had a more decent salary and had I had like structured time off, it would have been easier for me to travel. It's probably compounded by the fact that like travel is canceled for like the rest of all time. Yeah, I wish I had done more travel like with friends, a little bit more solo travel. I went to Curacao by myself, but yeah, I don't know, I just feel like life is too short. There are people who travel with kids, and there's actually like a whole philosophy of like raising your kid as like a global citizen where you basically just travel around. That doesn't really work for the work that it works for the work that I do. It doesn't really work for the work that Jonathan does. So, you know, we can't be traveling everywhere with our child, but come on, sit down, you can do it. So I wish I had seen a little bit more of the world, because I just know that it's going to be harder to do now with a little one. I wish I had like gotten a six-pack before having a baby, because it's so hard now.
Are you recording?
I am recording. Hello.
Sorry.
Do you need something? Do you need something?
I was gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh, there are other bathrooms. Love ya. I am actively recording.
Okay. Say hello to the peeps.
He says hello, peeps. He says hello. There are a lot of product recommendations out there of what you need, what you don't need. And as a parent, as a mother, I think that the biggest thing that you need is a support system. I know that sounds like kind of cheesy, but everything else, like, okay, you can buy formula, you can get diapers, you can cloth diaper. The one thing that is really hard to get is help. And if you can have a support system, then I feel like you'll be okay as a parent. Like, you'll figure it out. And that doesn't have to be a partner. That can be family members, that can be friends, that can be people physically, that can be people online. Like, you just need someone who you can share with and talk to so that you're not going through it alone. So my support system includes my spouse, it includes our part-time nanny, it includes my mother-in-law, it includes my mom, who I call a couple times a week for advice, for updates. It includes other moms that who have kids similar to mine. It includes moms who have kids older than mine who can advise me. Like, it includes everybody. Just having people who you can talk to, having people who you can share experiences with, who you can ask questions outside from, you know, just Google, is like really, really critical to feeling like you sort of kind of know what you're doing, although you're never gonna know what you're doing. But I think it can really make the difference between like floundering and like actually having some sense of what's going on with life. Ow, ooh, life as a mom. Oh, that hurt. I've been burning myself so often lately. Cause you know, you're always like boiling and sterilizing things for the baby. So I've been burning myself so much. Why is this wig gonna embarrass me? Like, why does it want to embarrass me? A whole me. What some hair will do for you. This is pretty. It's actually a really pretty hair. Like, yes, hunty. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm finished with my look. I changed my top so that it would be cuter. Oh, and people often ask me about this whenever I wear something strapless on Instagram. This is a birthmark. I literally have it all the time. You can go back and check the receipts. I am not being harmed, but thank you for your concern. Anyway, so now that we've passed 6 months, we've started solids, and someone had asked me about like meal prepping. So I actually think I want to do a like meal prep for the week for both what Jonathan and I eat and also what we feed the baby. So that'll be added to my video queue. Someone else asked for like baby products that I love. That is on the blog. And baby products that you don't need. I think that was interesting. Something that you don't really need. I mean, you don't really need much. Like, babies don't really need like that much to survive. Must-haves. I mean, I think that if you are working, I feel like having a hands-free wireless pump is gold. I mean, I was at home, but still found that my LV pump was like life-changing. So I'd highly recommend that. And someone had asked me about it. I still use the LV pump. I use it maybe like once or twice a week because on Saturdays, I usually just like get to do my own thing, and we just negotiated that I have from 9 to 1 on Saturdays to just live my best life and do whatever I want to do, whether it's get my hair done or nails done or hang out with a friend or have brunch or whatever, or just go to a cafe and read, or just go to the car and go grocery shopping, whatever. I can get out the house. So I need a bottle for those days, so I still pump to produce milk for that feeding, like 1 or 2 feedings. What else do you need and not need? I mean, I don't think that you need a crib immediately. That's something we just got a crib last week. He slept in a bassinet until he was like 4 months old. Then he just slept in a pack and play, which those are much cheaper than cribs. They're portable, they're multi-purpose. So if you don't want to invest in a crib right now, you don't have the space for a crib, a pack and play is perfectly fine, and he was fine. We put him in his own room in the pack and play, and he slept just fine. So you don't need a crib immediately. And you don't need a lot of toys. This brand that has like Montessori toys and puts it into kits did send me a free kit, and I actually really like that. So I think that we're gonna buy the kit for 7 to 10 months. He has the 3 to 6 months one now. So I feel like rather than like buying like little toys, because you never know what they're gonna like and what they're gonna gravitate towards, I liked the kit because I felt like once you introduced things like on a specific schedule, like you can see his development. You can see their development, and you can see how they like learn to play and they hold things in one hand, like, I don't know, whatever. So yeah, you don't need too many toys. Babies just need love. Really, that's all they need, and that's all they ever asked for. So you don't need a lot. Last thing I'm gonna do is share an update about my edges and about my body, because I have gotten questions about those. So I think around 4 months, I started experiencing hair loss. So I had my hair in cornrows for, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks. And when I undid my cornrows and washed my hair myself, whoo, the breakage, chow, Lord, it was a lot. But I do feel like my edges are pretty much like back, you know, like I don't think they look terrible. They could be better, especially like right here, and maybe right here, but they have definitely, just that. They have definitely improved, and to be honest, I haven't done much. I did do a couple of scalp massages with this Jamaican mango and lime hemp oil. It's called hemp oil, but the first ingredient is actually just castor seed oil, so I don't know why they thought like saying it was hemp oil would do better for marketing. But I would massage this on my edges a couple of times, and I've also used Briogio's 100% castor oil. So this one is like a mix of castor oil, soybean oil, and a bunch of other stuff, and this is just castor oil. So it depends on what you like. This I think was more expensive than this one. So I just massage those, honestly, like not every day. I think at the like when I noticed it, I was probably doing it every single day for maybe 2 weeks, and then I fell off. So yeah, they kind of just grew back. One of the benefits of being in quarantine is that I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not really like manipulating my hair, but I've just been really gentle with my hair and not doing much to it. So they grew back, are growing back, and will continue to grow back. And I'm now going to pick up the camera and do a little body update. All right, so I bought these pants. These are by how do you pronounce Style Pantry. So I bought these as part of my IK Buys Black initiative, where all year I'm buying fashion from Black designers, and last month I decided to add beauty and home decor, which is, home decor is proving to be really difficult, but anyway, I'm gonna say that for another video. But when I bought these, I did not fit them, so there was that. I have to double check what size I bought. I think I bought the medium. I think they don't come in number sizes. So I will say I kind of still have like a little bit of a pooch, and I will, hold on, give me a sec, I'll show you what my stomach looks like. But more or less I can fit into my clothes. I can fit into my jeans from like the 8-week mark. They were tight, but I could fit into them. I haven't really been doing too much, especially now. I was working out before, like I was doing yoga regularly. I did a couple of Kola, Itzinez, however you say her name. I did a couple of like free workouts from her. I was doing yoga more consistently, like the Down Dog app, which I really love. But the past 2 weeks, I don't know, it just hit me that like we're never going anywhere like again. So I have been very unmotivated to exercise. So let's not show the goodies, but that's what my belly looks like. I still have stretch marks, and I still have my linea negra, but yeah, that's what we're working with. That is what we're working with. That is a real belly, and that's yeah, 6 months. But yeah, that is my postpartum body update. That's what's going on with me here, and yeah. So that's my video, guys. That is how motherhood is going. It is all over the place like this video is, but I absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's the greatest feeling is when my son laughs. It just makes everything worth it. It makes the pushing worth it. It makes the self-doubt worth it. It makes the anxiety about whether I'm doing enough for him, whether the world is gonna be okay for him. It makes it all worth it. So I love it. I'm so happy to be a mom. I knew I always wanted to be one, so now that it's actually here, I'm just like, thank you, God. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope that you stay tuned for next week's video, because I promise it will be a lot more put together than this one was. Okay. All right, guys, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.